We break up and now I got to take care of that anyway.
Right, and that's why
So,
to me,
does that make
I would
sense?
think it would make more sense to say, hey, well, if we ever break up, we would
Sell the house.
We would sell this house,
Put you in
and you would
something
stay in something
you could afford.
Not put you in the hood and that, especially if we got kids together.
Right.
But maybe it wouldn't be this house.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
For over a decade, everyone around Kandi Burruss tried to warn her about Todd Tucker, and she defended him every single time against her mother, against her castmates, against the entire internet. Now she's watching the man she trusted with her $30 million empire try to tear apart the prenup she made him sign on camera, and fans everywhere are saying Mama Joyce called this from day one. Kandi announced her divorce on November 21st, 2025, and most people expected a smooth split given how she talked about protecting her peace and co-parenting with love and respect. She mentioned the split had been brewing for a while, which made it sound like both parties had accepted the end. What nobody expected came 5 days later when Todd filed his court response demanding primary custody of their kids, challenging the prenup's validity, and requesting alimony along with a full division of marital assets. The same prenup Bravo viewers watched him reluctantly sign just hours before their wedding, now suddenly became something he claims he never truly agreed to.
I decided to sign a prenup against my lawyer's advice. In the end, I know all this legal stuff is not going to keep me from being with Kandi.
This is a video recording of the execution of the prenuptial agreement between Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker. You acknowledge that you've had a sufficient amount of time and opportunity to fully consider the prenuptial agreement and to request changes to the prenuptial agreement.
Yes.
You understand that you are giving up your rights to periodic alimony, lump sum alimony, alimony in kind, attorney's fees, and expenses of litigation, property settlement, equitable distribution, and community property.
And that's when things took a darker turn. Sources who spoke exclusively to People magazine revealed that Kandi discovered Todd had allegedly been talking to other women behind her back, and the reports claimed she had no idea this was happening until the discovery shattered her. She hasn't addressed these allegations directly, but an Instagram post she shared said everything without spelling it out. A montage of photos showed her smiling throughout the year, and the caption explained that she shows up for her family, shows up for her friends, shows up to handle her business, all while feeling emotionally broken on the inside. Calling herself the poster child for checking on your strong friend hit different coming from a woman who built her entire brand on being unshakable. The history behind this mess stretches back over a decade. Todd worked as a line producer on The Real Housewives of Atlanta when he met Kandi in 2011, and crossing that line between production and talent wasn't supposed to happen, but something sparked between them anyway. By 2013, he proposed, and planning began for their lavish Coming to America themed wedding set for April 2014. Red flags appeared early that people either ignored or explained away, starting with Mama Joyce making it crystal clear she didn't approve of Todd from the jump. Accusations flew that he was an opportunist living off Kandi and using her for personal and professional gain, and at one point Joyce even suggested Todd had something going on with one of Kandi's friends. The attacks got so intense that Kandi feared Todd might leave because her mother came for him so hard. Kandi stood by her man through all of it, defending him against her mother, against cast members like Portia and Phaedra, against anyone who questioned his intentions became her default position for years. She brought him into her circle, trusted him with her empire, and the two built businesses together, including Old Lady Gang, Blaze Steak and Seafood, and Broadway productions like The Piano Lesson, The Wiz, and the record-breaking run of Othello starring Denzel Washington. On paper, they looked like relationship goals, and on camera, they presented themselves as partners pushing each other toward greatness. Here's where the prenup drama enters the picture. Anyone who watched the Bravo special remembers exactly how tense things got before that wedding because Kandi had always been clear about wanting a prenuptial agreement and never wavered on that stance. Todd acted surprised and tried to stall when signing day arrived, calling his lawyer only to get no answer while Kandi's lawyer showed up immediately with paperwork in hand.
Right before their wedding, where she said, "I've told you from jump, I've never wavered that I wanted a prenup. Why are you feigning confusion now?" He hemmed and hawed, called his lawyer didn't pick up. She calls her lawyer, her lawyer immediately picks up. And in the midst of a conversation, it's revealed that he had misled his counsel to not realize that she was already splitting their assets together with any joint ventures. If you can't even tell the truth to your own lawyers, then you can't act like you're a victim if you didn't do your due diligence when I've been doing my due diligence and I've never wavered on my stand.
An awkward recorded moment followed where Todd had to choose between walking away from the wedding or signing something that protected Kandi's assets, and he chose to sign on camera with a notary present.
I decided to sign a prenup against my lawyer's advice. In the end, I know all this legal stuff is not going to keep me from being with Kandi.
This is a video recording of the execution of the prenuptial agreement between Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker. You acknowledge that you've had a sufficient amount of time and opportunity to fully consider the prenuptial agreement and to request changes to the prenuptial agreement.
Yes.
You understand that you are giving up your rights to periodic alimony, lump sum alimony, alimony in kind, attorney's fees, and expenses of litigation, property settlement, equitable distribution, and community property.
The video recording of the execution captured him being asked directly if he understood he was giving up rights to periodic alimony, lump sum alimony, property settlement, equitable distribution, and community property. His answer was yes. He confirmed having sufficient time to review the agreement, and he stated he signed voluntarily without coercion or undue influence. 11 years later, his lawyers want the court to throw the whole thing out. Todd's November 26th filing claimed he faced pressure to sign without his legal team present because his lawyers had been engaged in negotiations but got cut out at the last minute when Kandi's counsel presented the final agreement immediately before the ceremony. These circumstances raise substantial questions about enforceability according to his filing, and if the prenup gets thrown out, everything opens up, including alimony, division of all marital assets, and a claim on wealth Kandi built before Todd ever entered her life. Kandi wasn't about to let that narrative stand unchallenged, and her response came on December 1st. Her amended divorce petition basically told the judge to roll the tape because the entire prenup negotiation was filmed and broadcast on Bravo as part of their 5-part wedding special. Footage exists showing Todd announcing he was good to sign after speaking with his attorneys, both on and off camera. Video evidence captures him acknowledging the agreement was fair and reasonable, and recorded proof demonstrates he wasn't threatened or pressured. All of it exists, all of it aired, and all of it could now be used against him in court.
I have a question for people who have had prenups. How easy is it to get out of it? Because the way Todd is running this is crazy, bruh. This man said, I want to break that damn prenup when he sat there on live TV and said, I'm going to sign this prenup because ain't nothing going to stop me. Ain't nothing going to stop our love. We're going to be together forever. You signed that shit. And Kandi, you was right. You was smart. But now he wants the children too?
Custody became another battleground when Todd asked for primary physical custody of their 2 children, Ace and Blaze, and Kandi responded by amending her own filing to seek primary custody as well after initially requesting joint custody. Todd's argument centers on the kids already living with him in Georgia, while Kandi handles out-of-state work obligations, including her current Broadway run in Juliet, and he claims she'll remain away for several more months. Kandi's response highlighted that both parents have professional obligations requiring travel and that she's consistently ensured care for the children through a nanny and a concentrated family support network. Nobody was going to paint her as an absent mother without a fight, and this is where Todd's own content comes back to haunt him. Years of videos posted on his YouTube channel discussed hypothetical scenarios about what would happen if they ever divorced, including what he would get and why he deserved things from her just for being there. Some of those clips have been circulating online, and the optics aren't good. One video featured him talking about an ex who used to cater to him like he was a billionaire, while another captured frustration about feeling like he created things he didn't get credit for. Whether genuine feelings or content designed to go viral remains unclear, but the timing of it all looks suspect. Mama Joyce is probably somewhere right now saying she tried to warn everybody. Joyce never stopped expressing disapproval of Todd throughout the years, and BravoCon 2022 provided a perfect example when she was asked to name 3 nice things about him during a Watch What Happens live game. Instead of playing along, she declared she would have picked anyone with a decent job and someone in the same financial bracket as her daughter. Calling him a lemon that Kandi made lemonade out of became one of her signature lines, and while her delivery was messy, fans are now wondering if her instincts were right the entire time. The money at stake in this divorce reaches staggering numbers. $30 million represents Kandi's estimated net worth, built from earning $450,000 per season of RHOA as one of the highest paid housewives in the entire franchise. Songwriting royalties continue paying out decades after she wrote No Scrubs for TLC and Bills for Destiny's Child, and even Ed Sheeran's Shape of You sends her checks because of its similarity to No Scrubs. Beyond music, her business portfolio includes Bedroom Candy, Tag's Boutique, Kandi Coated Cosmetics, and the restaurant empire she built with Todd. The prenup holding means Todd walks away with whatever they built together during the marriage, but nothing from before, while the prenup getting thrown out could mean half of everything. Marital debts complicate the picture even further. Kandi's original filing mentioned debts and asked the court to split them because the restaurants haven't always been profitable, Old Lady Gang locations have opened and closed, and the Kandi and the Gang spin-off got cancelled. People assume Todd is walking away from a gold mine, but the reality looks more complicated than the headlines suggest. None of that has stopped him from going for everything he can get. What this whole situation comes down to is preparation meeting betrayal. Kandi protected herself by doing the work when people told her insisting on a prenup was unromantic, by filming the signing when people called it too much, and by keeping receipts when people assumed she was being paranoid. Those receipts now stand as the only thing between her and a man who seems determined to rewrite history. The tape tells a different story than Todd claiming pressure. The agreement he signed contradicts his argument that he deserves more after 11 years, and footage of Kandi building an empire while raising children complicates his positioning as the primary caretaker who sacrificed for the family. Kandi has asked the court to seal the proceedings because she doesn't want Ace and Blaze growing up reading about every accusation their parents made against each other. Shielding her kids from chaos seems reasonable, but given how much of their relationship played out on camera, keeping this divorce private might prove impossible. The question lingering over everything is whether Todd planned this from the beginning by marrying Kandi, knowing exactly how he would exit if things fell apart, setting himself up as the stay-at-home parent to strengthen future custody arguments, and documenting his complaints on YouTube to build evidence of feeling undervalued. The alternative explanation is simpler and suggests this is just what happens when a relationship falls apart, and both people scramble to protect their interests. Mama Joyce has her opinion, the internet has its theories, and the courts will eventually decide what's enforceable. One thing remains clear though, Kandi trusted someone with her heart, her businesses, and her family, defended him against everyone who doubted him, and built a life with him that most people only dream about. Now she's watching him try to take as much of it as he possibly can. Sound off in the comments about whether you think Todd played the long game, or if people are reading too much into a messy divorce, and make sure you like and subscribe for more updates, because this drama is far from over.